Hey, what's up guys? Today we're gonna go over 10 exercises with 10 guitars. Why? Because we can. Let's do it. So, before we dive in, maybe a little update. If you guys remember last week I had a little swimming accident and I had stitches done and they were taken out, which was great, on Sunday, and then unfortunately it started bleeding again, so I had to redo that. So Tuesday I got stitches again, so give me another week and I'll be back to normal. 1. Weird chromatic thing. Basically, starting from the 6th string here, 1, 3, 2, 4, going my way up the fretboard, and then I'm gonna change directions when I get to the E string. And then the same thing here. It's not very deep, but you can also play it softer. Or louder. So you can also get some dynamic work if you wanna dive into that while you're practicing. The way I see it, after you practice it for a little bit, just going up the neck and back, you'll feel your fingers a little bit, because that connection here, I think the 3 to the 2 here, it takes a little bit more energy, because I feel, that finger is not as strong. So this exercise kind of highlights that. That's why it's healthy. I would spend 2-3 minutes, nothing crazy. I wouldn't play it crazy fast, just kind of trying to be accurate and honest. If you're actually digging this video and want to help and support me doing more of this stuff, the best way to do it is by just clicking the like button. You can also smash it. Maybe leaving a comment, sharing with a friend would be freaking awesome. And if you want PDFs and notation, tab annotation, there is all of that on my Patreon. 2. Octaves. So I think it's really important to know the notes on the fretboard. Now this exercise is kind of like calibrating the guitar and you. So what I do here, I'm just playing one note. I'll take, for example, the note F. And then I'll play all the octaves. And I'll make sure I see it and I hear it. Kind of want this high F as well. And you can also descend, just go back basically. And I think it's really helpful to know the notes, because you're gonna meet this F quite often. And then the same thing, I would just go scale-wise, you can say, okay, now I'll do G. And you listen to the colors. It's kind of cool because each string, even if it's the same note, has a little different timbre, although it's the same G. Right, this G and this G. Whoa, need to tune. But they have slightly different colors that maybe in some way you would want to utilize in a different way. But for us right now, I would say go over all the octaves. Just take a note, go up and down. Don't try to do it crazy fast, but just try to be super aware and be like, oh, okay, hey A, I see you there. Nice to meet you. Hopefully I'll meet you soon. So, just try to explore this a little bit. This guitar is one of my favorite guitars. Basically, I bought it for $49. It was kind of smashed. I do love it. I just tuned it to kind of drop D, so it's really low. Has a vibe. What I want to show you, and the exercise that I'm thinking, is basically playing fifths. What we're gonna do is start from the F, although this is right now E flat, but for you, just think about F. So I'm gonna play all perfect fifths. Except being a beautiful sound, you can also think about what notes you're playing, so the cycle of fifths. So E flat, or again, in your case, this is gonna be F, so I'm gonna say the notes for you. F, C, wow, it's confusing. G, D, A, and E, but again, I was actually playing E flat, B flat, etc. So the idea here, I love this sound and you can use it, but also just on a technical level, just playing these big intervals and syncing the right and left hand, because there's a lot of jumping involved, right? And trying to hear that sound. So this is warm-up number, I don't know. Man, I love this guitar. I got it when I was in high school and I got into classical music. I had a really bad guitar before and my teacher told me I should get something a little bit more real, so my parents helped me out and I got this guitar. I'm very fortunate to have parents that supported the situation. Now, I played more stuff that was classical on this one, right? Like, but today we're gonna play something a little different on this guitar. Check it out. The exercise is pretty simple. We're just gonna kind of push the string down, just like lifting little weights for our fingers. And next string, all down, except when we get to the E string. Then I'm lifting up. Almost there. Now, of course, with classical nylon string or acoustic guitars, the string tension is higher, so it's a little harder. I usually play it with the electric, so it's a little easier, and I usually play closer to the nuts, so it's still a little harder than if I play it here, just because of the tension. Now, I would do it with 1 and 2, then 1 and 3. Same thing, 1 and 4. Then 1 and 3 again, 1 and 2, and then I'll do 2 and 3. But all the options, so I really, do that, all that. I do slow and in tempo. I'm kind of rushing just so you guys understand what I'm doing, so it's not boring. I don't think it's boring. I think it's fun. And then 2 and 4, and then 3 and 4. 3 and 4 is probably the hardest. Yeah, ascending, descending, it's probably about 5 minutes, but then you kind of feel it and it's good. Chromatic scale. So this is a really cool exercise that I actually love. So basically, what we're gonna play is just chromatic scales up and down chromatically. So I'm starting from A. 4 notes, like literally playing 4 notes on the same string, then shifting to the B string, 4 notes, and then 4 notes on the E string, and sliding half step. Now, very important, we start with the downstroke, so just down, down, up, then down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then when I hit the A here, it's again down, up, down, up, so now I'm descending, and then this is very important because when I switch here, I'm not gonna slide, I'm gonna go to this F here, down, up, then switching here, down, up, and then when I get to the B flat, I'm gonna play that one twice, so again down, then I'm the B flat chromatic scale. Now you're like, okay, this is not very interesting, and maybe you're right, but check this out. So I think, and this is kind of something that I think about a lot, is that the technique that we're using with our right hand changes drastically in different speeds. If I'm just playing kind of slow, I have a lot of time so I can play and have bigger motions and it's all good. Now, if you listen to those shred guitar players that play super fast, they have this kind of thing that's very, very light on the right hand, and I'm really curious about that. The more I look into that, I see when I'm practicing these chromatic scale is that I can apply that idea of speed. So what I'm thinking here is very, very light with my right hand, and I am thinking about those downbeats. So that's why I mentioned in the beginning that it's really important to think about the downbeats and the way, the motion of the pick. And then I can do that chromatically. But the idea of that lightness and articulation is very, very interesting. Start slow and look for that lightness on your right hand, on the picking hand. Yes, pentatonic slide. So we all know those boxes of pentatonic, right? So we just kind of stay in one zone. It's cool, not that cool. So what I'm suggesting here is connecting all the positions. There are basically kind of 5 positions. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna start a minor pentatonic. I'm gonna start from G, 7 to 1, playing that, sliding, descending, sliding, 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 sliding. The guitar is almost done. And back. Sliding. 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 Now you can do that with alternate picking or with legato. Start slow. You can do that with alternate picking or legato. They both have different sound and they have different articulation. They're both great. I would practice it maybe one time just alternate picking. So the idea that we really see and hopefully hear the notes and the sound of that center. So when we're soloing, we can just move between those. Easily. These exercises are here for kind of unlocking the fingerboard, and with the pentatonic thing, I think it's really cool to keep those lines and ideas a little longer, so those connection points are super helpful. Check this one out. This is an extension of the other pentatonic exercise. I'm just moving between the last 2 strings, or the first, I guess the bass strings, the 6th, 5th, and 4th string. Alternate picking, and just shifting between the positions. And back. And I'm thinking about the scale, I'm thinking about the notes, thinking about the fingerings. So I think a lot of times we're stuck in one area of the guitar. So these are different ways to kind of get out of it and see the notes in different combinations, basically. You can also fast forward this exercise and get this kind of sound. Right, so it's a cool sound to explore. Gibson SG. Yeah, I got this guitar about a year ago when I was in LA, and I love it. I actually drove to LA and drove back because of COVID. It was a disaster, and I had this guitar throughout the road trip, so it's kind of fun, brings out some memories. Back out. This is a really cool exercise and super important that I do all the time. I'm just gonna play one note. I'm gonna play G. I'm gonna sing G, so just sing this song. And then I'm gonna play the scale and really feel the pain of each one of the notes and feel the tension and release between it. Check it out. So. And I'm telling myself what note I'm playing. Oh, this is B natural, this is the 3rd of G, and this is how it sounds. So this is how it feels against me and my voice and the guitar. So sometimes we play a lot of scales and a lot of technical things, which of course are important, and I do that too. We all do that. But we need to make sure we're really hearing what it is that we're dealing with, the tension and release, the beautiful sounds that we get when we play guitar and music. Legato. So this is a big subject with guitar because it's a really cool sound that we can get. We're playing one note and we get 3 notes. Awesome, really easy on the right hand, the picking hand. So what I'm gonna do right now, this is actually my first time playing this guitar as well. It's the MIDI guitar. I'm not playing the MIDI right now, I'm just playing the guitar, but this guitar has really cool MIDI capabilities that I'm going to explore because I'm very much into that. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna play F major scale, 3 notes per string. If you're not sure about that, there's a PDF on my Patreon, but you can just figure it out honestly. And what I'm gonna do it slow. I'm playing 1 note and I'm doing hammer on the other ones. Same thing here. And I'm trying to make sure I'm playing balanced, so no notes are crazy loud or crazy soft. Kinda everything in place. And I'm not trying to play it fast. I'm just trying to control the situation so it's clear. I'm aware of the notes. I'm hearing it. Then I can try and do it the same thing from the note G. And I'm just teaching my fingers where to go. I'll do it a few times. It's more about teaching the fingers and trying to play it fast. Then from the note A, some people call it modes. Again, I'm not against modes, but right now I'm really thinking about F major scale. From B flat, even slower. And I'm really trying to hear it and make sure that my hammer on and my pull-offs, if I do descending, are really locked in as much as possible. So I'll just go through the scale, each one a couple of times. D, E, and back to F. And then I'll do it a little faster. I'll stay with one position, for example, the F major scale here. And I'll try to see what is hard, maybe the connection between the 4th and the 3rd string. I'll try to make sure I'm accurate. Okay, the connection between the 3rd and 2nd string. Okay, and then I'll bump the tempo a little bit. Now I'm playing it without a metronome because I'm trying to just figure out the motion. But soon after, I will play this thing with a click, with a groove, and see where I'm at. I'm not gonna try to push myself crazy hard. I'm just gonna try to understand at what place I'm locked in and kinda be there. Maybe bump 1 BPM, nothing crazy, just locking in and trying to see it and be there. Alright, for our last exercise, I'm actually going to use my best friend, the metronome. What we're going to do right now is have the metronome on the 3rd triplet. Yes, the 3rd triplet. So first, let's hear it on the 1st triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm going to move that. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to accent 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to play a scale and have the metronome on the 3rd triplet. I'm going to play G major scale. So first, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So this takes a little bit of practice. Usually you just want to make sure you can hear the metronome on the 3rd triplet in a consistent way, then sing it a little bit and then play the scale and see if you're on it. 50 might be too fast, no problem, play it slower. And then you can push it up so you hear it and kind of fine tune the subdivision. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope this was interesting and exciting. These are exercises I love doing and I thought it would be cool to share it with you guys. So have an awesome week and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.